Let's see all the way overhead, and let's see how much motion you have here, and let's see what we get here. So what do you think here? So even from your angle, do you guys think she has full elevation on that right side? So what I'm seeing is a couple things. One is the right's not all the way up. She doesn't have full elevation. But you notice how she's more abducted on this side? So if you look at the space between her ear and her arms, it's a little bit different. So her humerus on this side is pretty straight up, and on this side it's a little bit more out to the side. Okay, and does that hurt? No. Okay, so she doesn't have an impingement right there, which is good. But we see, you know, this type of mobility. This is interesting. So relax for a second. Now, if she's doing barbell press, so regular press, I bet you're not as bad, right? So with her regular press, she can move within her movement, but with the barbell in the left arm locking down her right arm and it's going along for the ride, it's trying to do the same thing side to side, and her right side's completely different, okay? So come up overhead again. Let's look and see how your posture is in there. So this side, ton of upward rotation. I'm seeing enough midline, you know, kind of, again, going over quickly some of the things we've covered. This side looks good. I would say on this side, she's actually not rotating upward as much as I'd like on this side, and she's nowhere near on her midline here. So that's interesting. I wasn't expecting to find that on her. I wasn't thinking that was going to be the big thing we found, but I definitely see a difference. This is her upward rotation on the right, and this is on her left. Okay, but that plays to this exact finding with the arms though. So she's not elevating as much on this side because she's not getting as much scapular upward rotation on this right side. So let's find out, is this a glenohumeral thing? Is this a scapulothoracic thing? This is a lot different now from Brooks and Tony. For her, it's going to be, you know, a little bit of a challenge to figure out exactly what it is, but let's see what we can find. So one thing I will notice, again, just posture-wise with Lauren, great upper traps, right? She makes Tony look weak, you know, in terms of upper traps, right? She has great upper traps because all she does is pull, pull, pull. She's doing a lot of pull type stuff now. She's doing a lot of pressing. So her upper trap is much more developed. She has a nice anterior tilt. You can see her shoulders kind of a little bit rounded in this position. I'm immediately thinking we're gonna have an imbalance between her upper trap and her lower trap. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit of an issue for her. So her low trap and serratus aren't doing as good of a job to upwardly rotating the scap. So on Brooks, we said scap upwardly rotated well on its own. Glenohumeral didn't want to go, right? On Lauren, we're saying kind of the opposite now. On Lauren, it's her glenohumeral joint has hyperlaxity, but now it's her scapula that's not upwardly rotating enough.
You can remember with both Brooks and Tony how there was a pretty hefty downslope of the shoulder girdle. Like you could rest a cup on top of hers, right? It's much more horizontal, which is what that upper trap will do. It'll elevate you up.
So stand face me and let's just do a forward elevation. So I'll watch from the front, but we're gonna watch from the side as well. So yeah, I'm seeing the same thing that we saw. I wanted you to see it from the side. But again, her right side, if we looked at her here, and this is full motion, her right side's kind of like this. It's not quite as elevated and it's abducted a little bit.